Welcome to The Worst with Chad Austin. I have a guest with me today. This young man he's all over the comedy scene in LA. Just known for being a nice guy with great jokes. Give it up for Blake Harthcock.
Hey,
Hey Blake, how you doing, buddy?
what's up, man?
I'm glad. I'm glad that, like I was just saying before we started recording, I'm glad that you decided to jump on this with me because, as you said, we haven't really gotten a chance to talk too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been like, hey, at a show, we're at a show, and then it's over, and
Yeah,
everyone goes their separate ways.
that's right.
So how are things? How you doing, bud?
Yeah, I mean, I'm positive, living life, as good as I know how to,
Yeah.
just just trying to make the money, trying to do the comedy scene, trying to get into the comedy store more, stuff like that. I just moved to Hollywood recently.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, yes.
What part were you in before?
I was in North Hollywood.
Oh, okay. I'm in that area right now. I'm in Studio City, so like right on the border of
Okay.
North Hollywood. I did you move over to like the west side of Hollywood where you're closer to the store?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm on Vine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, still, it's a lot closer.
Yeah, it's fun. No, it's a lot of different comedy clubs, a lot going on in this
Yeah,
area.
then that's the good thing about being like central is there is, for the people that don't know the hustle of the nightly comedian out here, there's a lot of little spots that you can go to.
Mm-hmm.
For everything from the Hollywood comedy to there's a new place called Comedy Boulevard, and then there's this place, Third Wheel,
Mm-hmm.
and then obviously the big guys, the Improv and the Comedy Store,
That's right.
and
The Laugh Factory.
the Laugh
Yeah.
Factory. I always forget about Laugh Factory.
Mhm.
I don't know how it's like gigantic marquees and everything.
I hear everyone hates that place that works there anyways.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So you've been trying to get into the store more lately?
Yeah, that's right. I've been doing the haha a lot.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
haha comedy
I do the haha a lot
because
too.
I was right around the road. I was right down the street from
Yeah.
North Hollywood. So
Oh, okay.
so I went there and then kind of got used to it, and now I moved closer to Hollywood and trying to hit the Improv, Laugh Factory, and Comedy Store, just
Yeah.
going and showing my face.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
yeah, that's the beginning of it, really.
That's
Like,
right.
especially at a place like the store, right? Like, it's as the store has always felt like I love the store. It's such a like it has such a different energy about it, and it's always felt like that place where it's like it's a little bit more like clicked up,
Yeah, you can tell. You
You-
can kind of see.
there's
Mhm.
more of that vibe where it's just like you kind of have to get in, like work your way into the inner circle,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe we'll invite you on to do like a 5 minutes, like, or maybe a cold open here and this, that, and the
Mhm.
other. But I've always respected the design of how the store does things, where they give comics jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and then part of their job is they get stage
Time.
time,
Yeah.
and
Which is a pretty good trade,
it I mean, it really is. Like, if you think about it, like, sure, it's probably a minimum wage job, but that's most of what you're getting in LA. Like,
People that work at like the haha or comedy store, I feel like they book more gigs because they're people that work there typically want to be a comedian or want to have that stage time. So once they get in there, then they get to meet more people, then networking, and so it's definitely the place to be if you're really wanting to hit that pavement.
no, absolutely. Like, and there's a lot of good things that happen from that too. Like, people, like, if you're in our world, like, you never look down on like a door guy,
Mhm.
because what they're doing.
Yeah.
Their end goal.
Very true.
And also that like that door guy could cold open a show in the main room, and then one of the bigger guys that are there that night sees them and says, "Hey, you want to go do Brea with me, or you want to
Mhm.
go do this?" And then that opens up doors for them.
That's right. That's the
And then
fun
the door
part
guy
too.
is opening up doors.
Mm-hmm.
The doors
Literally,
are opening for the door guy.
physically, metaphorically, all that jazz.
all that jazz. But yeah, dude, I've been doing the haha a lot. Like, there's a weekly roast battle I've been doing there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, digits.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
right.
the Buddy Digits.
Every Wednesday, right?
Every Wednesday.
Mhm.
I'm doing the next one on 420. There's a 420
Right
roast battle.
on. Yeah, I like that.
So yeah,
Good numbers.
Yeah. And they're all talking about being insanely high before they do this, and I haven't told anybody. I don't really smoke weed, but
You can play it off.
I'll play it off. I'll just.
Yeah.
I mean, I work enough to where I look tired all the time,
Walk in
and
there with your eyes closed.
you know, I
You'll
just
be
feel
good.
it out.
Bring
Dude,
like walk in there with onions or something, you know?
yeah, yeah, some kind of snack and a
Yeah.
big bottle of water.
Dude, you're definitely stoned if you
Yeah,
eat
dude, no one would say anything. You walk into a comedy club with like the family size bag of chips.
king size or something. That's funny.
Dude, I forgot. Where are you from?
I'm from Mississippi. I'm
Mississippi.
26 years living in Mississippi. I've been out here 3 years, and I'm 30. Just turned
Uh,
30.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna do the math and say he was 29, but 26, 3. But I guess if you just turned 30, then it works.
Yeah, Valentine's Day,
Oh,
Aquarius,
oh,
baby.
really?
Age of Aquarius, you know?
um,
But
what's it?
Mississippi.
Yeah, did
Hmm
you start comedy in Mississippi?
I tried it once.
Yeah.
There's a place called the Finian's Pub
Hmm.
over in Jackson, Mississippi. Shout out, you know. But I tried it there. They had an open mic. Most of them only do music,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But it was a late night, and I was like, man, let me try it out. So that was my first time doing it. But then I didn't do it ever since I moved out here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And was it like, did you move out here with the goal of stand up, or did you just?
Entertainment.
It was entertainment in
Yeah,
general.
I acting primarily
Oh,
because that's
okay.
what I really came out here to do. I dabbled in the acting whenever I was really young. I didn't really like sports, all that,
Yeah, I'm the
because
same.
dude, there was one time where I would always put the glove on my head for baseball.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd be in the outfield and just put it on my face and lay down because they're not hitting it out there.
No, no, and especially when you're a little kid, it's like
Hmm
you're hoping for that action.
Yeah, for real.
Just, yeah, and like as a kid, you like all the most you hope for when you're playing like a baseball or anything is like the chance to just run around with your friends,
Hmm
and then they stick you in the outfield and you're just standing there,
Yeah,
and it's so boring.
yeah, but I didn't feel it. I didn't really didn't excite me.
Yeah,
So
no,
I auditioned for a play and then got
okay,
into it. I was always kind of fidgety and just like not the focused a whole lot of the time.
okay,
But anyways, I was at a play one time auditioning, and my mom said, "Hey, now pay attention," and I said, "Shh." So it was like that's what she said to me before
okay.
that kind of caught my attention, and it always has.
That's cool.
So
That's
that's
cool. Yeah,
Wizard
I,
of Oz.
yeah. Oh, that was the one. That was the
Yeah,
one that got you.
yeah, I was a Lollipop Guild baby.
Okay. Yeah, man. I felt the same way about sports, and it was weird because my dad was like when he was in high school and everything, he was like star athlete. Like,
Okay,
yeah, he was that guy where he played basketball, he played football, he played baseball.
good genes then. You must
Well,
have them,
yeah,
man.
and so when like as I'm growing up, and by the time I'm in seventh grade, I'm already 6'2", and but I played sports as a little kid, but then when I got old enough to make my own decisions, I was like, it's not really my thing. Like, I like writing and I like hanging out with my friends who were in bands and like
Hmm
even learning instruments, doing that kind of stuff. And um, it was just one of those things where it's like, but all my dad's friends would be like, "Oh, you're gonna be a linebacker," and I'm like, well, sorry to
hmm
disappoint, but
You could have. Look at you.
I could have. I
6'2".
absolutely, well, now I'm 6'5", but
Damn.
but yeah, like I absolutely could have, but it was just like it just never sounded like it was never appealing,
Hmm
you know.
Yeah. I just didn't. It didn't really catch my attention a lot. But
I wanted to write movies and make people laugh, and
yeah,
you know,
exactly. Which is we're doing it, man. We're here.
yeah.
You know.
And the thing was too is as a younger man, I knew that I would wanted to try stand up, and in fact, like when I still live, I'm from the Palm Springs area,
Okay.
where they have Coachella and all that, and when I
Which is
was
happening now, right?
yeah right now yeah
Hmm
and I knew that I wanted to try stand up, but I was terrified of being on stage alone. Like
hmm
the stage fright was too much for me. So I had a couple buddies who had good presence around people. They like to be in front of people, being like the center of attention.
hmm
So I would try to convince them to do stand up and let me write their jokes for them. And they were like, "Yeah, yeah, I'll do it." But
Ghostwriter.
yeah, exactly. But when it came down to it, they never really wanted to get on the stage. So I just never really got it. And then finally, just a few years ago, I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like I have so many ideas in my head. Like I need to get over this shit. And then
Right.
that's when I finally started.
hmm
And now it's just one of those things where, yeah, I still get like insanely nervous,
hmm
but
It takes your breath away sometimes when you get on
it
stage.
really does.
I got used to like when I first started doing the haha, I would get up on there sometimes like you lose your breath in a way. So I learned that take deep breaths before you go up there, so that way your lungs can keep up with your heart rate
Hmm.
or something, whatever, something like
No,
that.
no, but it
Mm-hmm.
makes sense because really, it's you're if you're not doing it on a daily basis where it just becomes
Second nature.
second
Mm-hmm.
nature,
Yeah.
then it really gets to the point where like you're about to go on, so your mind's racing, then your heart starts racing, and then you're like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then they call your name, and you're like, oh shit, this is it, and you go up.
Because it happens so
It
fast.
does, like you don't really think about it but it really just boom, 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 and then you're standing in front of a
Mm-hmm.
room full of people, and now it's my job to make you laugh for at least 5 minutes.
Damn
Like,
right, man. Yeah. That's the best part right there. Challenging.
it
It is challenging.
it
Which,
really is.
you know, I see you have a tattoo of a pineapple on your hand.
I was gonna bring that up because one of my I remember when we did the roast battle,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't plan it too well, to be honest, and
Very fun though.
it was fun.
Yeah.
We had fun,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't plan it too well, and I didn't really think about the fact that most people have like 4 or 5 stand-ups go ahead, and then you make the show run longer. But a roast battle in general is a pretty quick show. Like
I
if
agree.
you're just roasting. So we had 4 battles and the
Kicked
show was
ass.
over in like 25 minutes. And we still had like I think an hour of time before the next show started.
Mm-hmm.
So we started an impromptu open mic, and I remember that the one of the bits in your set was about having a
Mm,
pineapple tattoo, and
that's right.
then later finding out what the meaning was. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
The absolute same happened to me because in my industry, a pineapple, like hospitality, a pineapple is good hospitality. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's you bring it as a gift,
That's
and
right.
it's to show like good hospitality. And I've been in the service industry for 20 years now,
Mm-hmm. I'm
and
with you too,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
and also for the last like 8 years, I've run like tropical cocktail bars. So like pineapple is
Yeah.
a very big thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a pineapple tattooed on my palm,
Yeah.
and
Love it.
then later I find out that pineapples have an entirely different meaning to a
Connotation.
certain set of people. And do you want to explain what this is? Because
Yeah, so I wanted to get a second tattoo because
yeah,
I'll have two. All right, so I wanted to get the second one. And I was like, I'm gonna get something funny, because I'm a comedian, I like art. I just love
yeah,
how, the different things you can get. So I decided to go with the pineapple with sunglasses. You know, it's a cool pineapple.
it is
Uh,
a cool pineapple.
but I did so whenever I got the tattoo, I reached out to my father and I said, "Hey, check out, look what I got." And he said, "Is that real?" As they would probably. But and
Yeah.
he said, "You know what that means? In the South, that actually means that you're a swinger, and if you have it on your front porch or anything like that, then you're a swinger.
Yeah,
If
it's
you have
like
it
an open
upside
it's
down."
like an open invitation
Mm-hmm.
type of thing.
Which is cool. I'm single, but you got to be able to be in a couple to swing, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Like I think as a single, you can be invited by a swinger couple.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like
Like he films and
yeah, like or he just enjoys watching, or maybe she just enjoys watching. It depends on what you're into. But the funny thing is too, the community around the tropical bars that I ran for a long time, it's called Tiki Bar, right?
hmm
And come to find out that a lot of the people like that are really into like tiki bars and they travel to go to different bars and what they are a lot of them are actually swingers as well.
Okay.
So I used to get people that would come sit down at my bar and,
And offer things?
yeah, and like they these people can drink, and they'd be sitting in front of me for like 3 or 4 hours, and then all of a sudden they're getting ready to cash out, and they write their like hotel room, the hotel they're staying at, and the
Oh
room
yeah.
number.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, and then it's like if you want to have some more, like if you want to continue this party, and I'm like, yeah.
Damn. Dude, just take a picture of them and like send it to me.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
show up in under
Yeah.
your behalf.
Be like, hey, I heard there was a party here. I
Exactly.
just
Show the tattoo and they're
yeah,
like, get
they're
in
like,
here.
get in here, sir. They're like, you're exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah. Man, but yeah, obviously, coming out here from Mississippi, I figured that the ladies would be more into the accent and want to and stuff like that. So it's been kind of a bumpy road when it comes to that lifestyle out here, you know.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
Dude, 10 years.
Wow, right on.
Yeah.
Cool. How old is your youngest?
I have one daughter.
Hmm.
She's 12.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Well,
so she's like
how'd you
getting
find that?
she.
Did y'all find each other in California
Yeah, yeah,
or?
yeah. It was weird. It was like right when like Instagram first started.
Okay.
And back then, it was strange because what's now called like the For You page, where it's like the explore and find different people, it
Mm-hmm.
used to be called the popular page. And Instagram was such a small community back then that to be like a popular photo, you only had to get like upwards of like 40 likes on a photo, and then your picture got put into the popular page.
Yeah.
And I was just scrolling through and I saw her and I clicked on it, and then I went to her profile and she posted like some album art from one of the bands that we both like, and all I wrote was, "Hey, that's a great album." And
Mm-hmm.
then from there we started talking, and then like after like a month of just like bullshit chatting back and forth, then we met in person because she only lived like an hour away.
Okay.
And then
It's crazy how
that
things.
was a wrap after that.
That's awesome. It's
Yeah, it
crazy how
was.
things happen. Like when, if you think about how things started, and then like, it's pretty
It
interesting.
really was like a when you least expect it type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that time, I had just broken up with a girlfriend, and I'll admit, because my friends who I've known for a very long time listen to this weekly, and I'll admit I was being a real little bitch about that breakup, and like just like, come on guys, let's go drink. I'm sad,
Yeah,
you
I would be
know.
the same way
Yeah,
though.
no,
I'd be
that's it.
with you.
That's who I was at that time. I was like, come on guys, what do you mean you don't want to drink with me? It's like, Chad, it's noon on a Tuesday. I'm like, I don't care, I'm sad.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then it was just,
Turn up on a Tuesday, right?
yeah, exactly. And yeah, and I wasn't looking for anything, but I happened to find something, and it was
Mm-hmm.
and
That's what
it's
everybody says. Don't look.
yeah, and
You know.
it feels like such a cliche, but it turns out it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're out there like on the hunt, then
Yeah.
I feel like it leans like more of like a tunnel vision type thing, where it's just like I'm looking for this specific person, or like somebody that really meets all of these things, and
Yeah.
then you're being
The
really
list.
picky and you're doing this and you're doing
Let's see if my mom would like her or not.
that. But
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's different, and yeah, my kid's 12, and which means that she's like slightly the devil right now. Preteen girl, dude. Like
I bet that's interesting.
it's
Mm-hmm. To say the least.
so I have a younger sister, but like my sister was always like a very quiet person.
Okay.
She like kind of more of a keep to herself. She likes to draw, all that stuff. My daughter loves to do that too. She's very into art, but she's also very opinionated, and then she she likes to, and this is probably my fault, she likes to roast.
Okay, that's cool.
But like it's also to a point where like I've had to sit down and talk to her. Like
You've made me cry enough.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, she went and stayed with my mom for a weekend, and I'm go to pick her up. My mom's like, "Hey, she's like, Josie made a comment about like your sister's nose," and she's like, and it was really messed up. And she's like, when I called her out on it, she goes, "I'm just roasting," and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I was like, "Hey kid," I was like, when we do a roast battle, it's consensual. like we both have agreed that we're gonna tell terrible jokes about each other. That is all in good fun,
That's
but
right.
it's an agreement.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you can't just go roast your family members out of nowhere, just completely out of the blue. Just tell somebody that they got a fucked up nose. You can't go
Mm-hmm.
do that. Like
Hey, it's fun though. It really can be.
it really can
Mm-hmm.
be.
That's
But
why we want to do comedy.
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause that's all we're doing.
there's a yeah, like there's a normal sensibility, and then there's a little bit more of a twisted sensibility to like the way you see things, and
Yeah.
the way you look a person up and down when you first meet them, like the things that you think. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's a very different thing from a person that is constantly looking for the joke,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. But that. So, what'd your sisters? Your sister. You said she likes to roast. That my very first time roasting was on your
I
show.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember. And
Mhm.
and you had fun too, right?
Yeah, man. I won the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
So,
good.
but I did. So I have done another roast at the Comic Wars,
Oh, you
which
did Comic
I did.
Wars.
I did, and I got my ass spanked, man. They roasted me like a damn, you know,
Did
like
you
a pig.
you went all the way out to Silmar and in that
Yeah.
backyard? Yeah,
Yeah.
I went out there.
Great venue. I liked it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I went out there and yeah, I love. Shout out to Nate. We had Nate
Mhm.
is one of the hosts, and we actually had him on our roast battle the night that I had it here.
Yeah, that's right.
Comic Wars is such a really it's a really fun take on the roast battle. The format of it,
Mhm.
I love that it's like, start off with a good joke, and then it goes into the minute round. I
Mhm.
love that. I love that idea where you just so basically you
Shoot
just
them out.
get off as many jokes as you can in a minute without, well, obviously without stepping on your own laughs or anything like that, but like
Mhm.
you just get out as many good jokes you can in a minute, and then it goes into the third round. Third round is just like your closer,
Yeah,
right? Just like
technically
your,
like one joke
yeah,
or something.
you're like nailing the coffin joke,
Mhm.
you know.
But roasting is I actually my last name Harthcock.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, all in high school and stuff?
Yeah, oh, I'm sure
So
so, but
I've
that
had it.
the thing about that though, like with a last name like Harthcock, is you get thick skin
Mhm.
from just being around kids, because kids are the fucking cruelest.
That's right.
Like we can sit around as adults and make fun of each other, and we know that it's all in good fun. When kids do it at school, their aim is to
Ruthless.
hurt you.
And make you hit you where it hurts.
Yeah, their aim is to hurt you. Like kids are fucking ruthless.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like I mean, it's nowhere near the same as Hearthcock, but with my last name Austin, growing up, one of the biggest wrestlers in the world was Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And so it was
Still the
just,
king,
yeah,
man. Still
dude,
knows what he's doing.
the man's a,
Mhm.
and actually it's turned, that whole thing has turned into like a bit in my like stand up set, is like being compared to Stone Cold Steve Austin all the time.
The beers, man, that's what's a legend right there. Just
Dude,
him smashing the beers.
dude, yeah, smash and chug,
Yeah,
the
dude.
smash and chug of Bud Heavies.
That's badass.
I
That's
mean,
what it is. Mhm.
and then also just like double knee brace
Mhm.
and jean shorts. Like, come on,
Man,
man.
so patriotic.
Yeah, right. Like,
What
who?
else do you need?
What? You are like, he is the most American son of a bitch.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, no, I love that guy, and I heard that he just recently came back too at WrestleMania. Did you
Okay.
know that?
I didn't.
I
Mhm.
guess he fought twice at WrestleMania, like his first time out of retirement in like 10 years or something like that.
Okay.
So
Hell
shout
yeah.
out to you, Steve Austin,
Right on.
keeping the name alive, sir.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, but I've been doing comedy out here 3 years, but acting wise. So do you act or are you trying to like
I haven't really thought
oh,
about acting at all.
okay.
Um,
'Cause I typically love to talk to other actors about like what they're booking or how they're, just to kind of get an idea of like maybe try to um trim off some fat for
yeah,
maybe what I'm doing, 'cause we're all in my eyes, I may see things differently, but I feel like we're all supposed to support each other, give advice whenever we can. And I know it's a dog eat dog, and where it's all competition and stuff like that.
yeah.
But I typically love to support and bring people up as well as ask the right questions.
N-
You really got to get that information because people are our biggest resource
I
that we have.
absolutely agree, and honestly, I think that's one of the cool things. Like, I know a couple people like acting. One of my good friends out here has really made a name for himself so far. He's been on this podcast. He actually just recently was in a feature film,
Right on.
and
Okay.
and he took that whole time during the pandemic to make, like, just do what he wanted to do. And he made sure that he knew how to edit, and he started directing shorts and doing all this, and then sending them into film festivals and
Mm-hmm.
just trying to build. And
Because you really got to get your hands on it.
oh
That's the
no,
only best way to really
I
learn.
absolutely, like, especially out here where everyone claims they do everything. like if you really can like do a little bit of everything, if you really can be that jack of all trades, but also be good at it,
Yeah,
like it'll take you places.
it really will.
Like,
There's like pandemic, right when
mm,
that shit started, man, COVID happened, so I wound up getting laid off and all that, but and everyone did, right?
yeah,
So got on unemployment and I spent all that good money they were sending us on like equipment and because I also was like trying to do something because I knew that I wasn't booking anything. I didn't have an agent or anything,
yeah.
so I had to do it myself, which is typical a DIY. You I typically I think that's the best way to do it, man. Just to get that shit done. Buy it, learn as much as you can. Editing is all aspects of it is kind of a bitch. With the camera,
It really
what the
is.
hell is that? The audio, the lights. Then you got it, the script and the editing.
Yeah,
It's
no, I just started recently just started like doing my own like video editing on like podcast clips and stuff. And
What do you use if you don't mind me asking?
I honestly I just use for at the moment just iMovie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, I
I
just
love Apple. I use
yeah,
a Final Cut.
yeah,
Mhm.
like yeah, Final Cut. That's eventually I'll get there. It feels a little bit more advanced than I am at the moment, but like,
Mhm.
you know, I'm just glad that I'm starting to like learn these little things. And you know, because you start to realize that like if you want anything to grow, then like you can't just okay and just set it out there and be like, all right, now
Mhm.
grow. You have
It's
to
not a
grow.
plant.
You have to grow with it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like
Mhm.
you have to grow with it. So you have to like, okay, well, I just put out this clip and I thought it was funny, but it only has X amount of views. How can I get that number up?
Mhm.
So then you start looking at
Marketing.
like smash cuts
Mhm.
and close-ups and like adding text dialogue to videos and like the little things that catch people's eyes on social media and whatnot, and seeing which one works, this, that, and the other. And like you really have to grow if you want what you're doing to grow.
And the only way to learn through that is to do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It's all
mhm.
it's all just
Repetition too.
yeah, yeah, trial and error. You know,
Mhm.
just
A lot
what
of Google, a lot of typing and finding out,
yeah.
tutorials, asking
Yeah,
those
yeah,
questions.
YouTube tutorials, you know, fucking Wikipedia, Ask Jeeves, whatever the hell it's gonna be.
Mhm.
It has to, you know, there's all kinds of stuff that you have to look through and figure out what is going on.
Mhm.
Um,
If you want it bad enough, man, it's out there to get.
it really is, and you know, the thing is out here there's 1 in 5 people, probably more than that. If you talk to them, they're gonna be like, "Well, I'm an actor,
Mhm.
but you know, I'm waiting tables right now, but I'm an actor." The only difference between you and them is how hard you're willing to work to make that thing happen for real.
Yep.
You know, and you know, some people don't some people just like saying I'm an actor
Mhm.
and then don't really work on it.
I
Some people
agree.
just like saying, you know, this, that, and, and just don't work. But if
Mhm.
you're willing to put in the work and if you're willing to, you know, the repetition of doing this day in, day out,
Which is a pain in the ass. It
it
really
really
can
is. It
be. You
sucks.
got to find the fun in it.
Yeah.
That's what's most important.
And sometimes it can be hard, right?
Mhm.
Like sometimes you're just like, okay, not like you know, just talking to a couple actor friends of mine, it's just like, okay, another audition, and then another time they're not calling me, and this, that, and the
Mhm.
other, and it starts to just feel like, oh God, like,
You
is
discouraging.
there ever gonna be a break
Mhm.
where at least I get like a call back, like, you know, just
Mhm.
anything like that, and it can be right. It just kind of makes your heart sink a little bit.
Yeah. It can, but you just stick with it. Whatever happens is going to happen.
Well, that's the difference of the people that actually want it and the ones that can be easily discouraged, right?
Mhm.
The ones that can be easily discouraged and didn't really want it that bad to begin with. They maybe have a failsafe,
Yeah.
you know, another
Mhm.
plan that I'm gonna be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's certain people, like I feel like us, who I want this really bad, and
You feel it in your heart, or you feel it somewhere
like
pulling you some.
I have a job. It can be considered a backup plan, but like I'm not going to be happy the rest of my life with this just job.
Mhm.
You know?
You said it, brother. Man, I have also so I'm actually I'm gonna see if I'm gonna bring this out.
We're
Oh,
busting out the tallies.
I was like, hey man, Chad and I just hanging out, shooting the bull. We're just trying to be funny, hanging
Yeah.
out. You know what it
It
is?
just you know, it's fucking beer 30, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Um.
But yeah, man, Applebees.
Oh
That
yeah,
that was my place. That's mainly where I learned that I love Miller High Life, because they had $1 beers, and
dude. Yeah.
dude, can't go wrong with
With
that.
the $1 beers, how could you go wrong?
Yeah, but yeah, man, Applebee's took me for a ride. That's how I lost my virginity. I'm an open book too. So anytime, anything we
Well,
could talk about.
speaking of this, let's get like, because we're a little over halfway over with the show, and we've just been having a good conversation. There's a namesake to the show. It's called The Worst, where I ask people about, some of their worst, best, whatever. Today it's going to be all over the place. We're just going to ask about experiences. And I am normally the question is, what's your worst sexual experience? And we could get into that too if you have a funny story.
Okay.
But I also just want to know how Applebee's led into losing your virginity. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well, it's the apples and the bees, birds and the bees, or what. But anyway, so I actually was a virgin, and I was in college, and I worked at Applebee's, and anyways, there's a lady friend. We had a little shindig at my place, and I had a buddy walk up to her and say, "Hey, he's a virgin, right?" And she went over there and grabbed my hand and said, "You didn't tell me." And I was like, "Why the hell would I tell you?" And she'd grab my hand. We went to my room,
Just like that.
and then it happened. Things, and then our buddy opened the door and just to find me,
Yeah,
and saw us doing it in the act, like a bunch of dogs. And then another person came in, and then I had to lock the door.
yeah.
It's like it's what everyone heard I was losing my virginity. You could hear them all in the living room screaming, so happy. I'm feel so sorry
Did
for this
that
poor
pull you out
girl.
of the moment? Like,
This is gonna get a little too personal, but I don't care, man. It's
no,
all
it's all
good,
good.
dude. I actually didn't finish my first few times of having sex. So the first one didn't happen, man.
Okay.
It got to the point where I just could go, which some people say that would be a great thing to have, but I typically like to know that that's gonna happen at the end for sure.
Yeah. Like,
You know?
there's a finish line.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
because everybody gets tired at some point. You don't want to just keep going.
Yeah, very
Like, a
true.
finish line is great for everybody, like the guy and girl included, like, or guy and guy, doesn't matter. I don't care,
Exactly.
man. Love
Everybody
who
gets
you want to
off.
love.
Everybody gets off, man. It's okay. But no, man.
There should be a children's book. Everybody Gets Off, written by Blake Harthcock.
Dude, that would, man. Nowadays, that sounds like that would be something
It
we should
would
do.
probably actually. I think we could actually sell a bunch of these. We could have my daughter illustrate it, and then you and I can work on the dialogue.
It'd be real
Everybody Gets Off,
That's right,
coming out in 2023.
man. We can make it
Okay.
happen.
Yeah.
It'll be all about the birds and the bees, obviously, and different ways you can experiment with that.
Yeah. Don't be ashamed. Everybody gets off.
Yeah, man. Everybody poops.
Yeah. I
You
mean, we
know.
had that book. That book's been around for like 20 years. That's been a taboo subject. Well,
Hmm.
now we're talking about every different type of sex and pronoun and this, that, and the other. So might as well teach these kids that everybody gets off.
That's right.
All right.
I've actually had sex 14 times total.
Total.
All right, with actually, 14 times total with 12 different women.
Okay.
All right, so not a lot of return customers, but other than that, we always still had a good time.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, that's what matters, right? The good
hmm
time.
my first time sleeping with somebody in California, I met this. She doesn't have to be black, but she was a black woman, which I don't discriminate, obviously. Being from Mississippi, I'm sure with this accent, people are like, "Wait a minute, why do you say call her black?" But no, my first black woman, I slept with her over at the beach in Santa Monica.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was my first one in California, so
Nice.
it's pretty cool. I
Was it she dug your accent? Like, how did you guys meet? What happened?
Oh well, I typically love to smile and just have full energy and whatnot, and
Yeah.
she did too, and she kind of caught that vibe, and then she offered to buy me a drink, which was just like,
Yeah.
whoa, So I was like, all right, I'm gonna ride with this, you know.
All right.
Yeah, and we went on a double date one time, and the other two went off on their own, and we just had our way at the beach. Homeless man 2 feet in front of us, but it was okay. It all worked out.
I mean, it was fine. You guys got to do what you got to do. He got a show.
Hmm.
If he was even awake, they pass out pretty hard.
We had a bottle of Jack, and she
Oh.
just kept passing it to me. She wanted me to get there,
Yeah.
you know. But my other friends, you know, they saw the cops were coming to actually stop us or arrest us, so they threw a blanket over us real quick,
Oh,
and you
nice.
know, it was just, you know, and then it was over.
Dang, dude. So like I mean, first of all, great story for first time in California, but also like then on top of that, you had the homies that came with the assist.
Very true. Yes, it was clutch too, man. There's no
That's
telling what would happen. I would have been
those are
a,
great friends.
I could have been a predator
Yeah.
at that point. You know,
Yeah. No
they
one
would have.
knows. No one knows what's going on. Like all of a sudden there's just cops and then they're lifting you up and then they get you on indecent exposure and this, that, and the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then who knows where your life goes from there.
Exactly, man.
You know, that's when it goes down the bad path. But you had good friends.
Mm-hmm. There's a good friend of mine, Chris, also a black guy I was rooming with at the time.
Shout out to Chris.
All right, you hear that?
It's like we need to stop just thinking because of this accent that he does not like black people.
Please. That's all I'm trying to get across.
That is an antiquated thought, guys.
I love all people, damn it.
Yeah.
Okay?
He's not out here wearing MAGA hats and, preaching hate. This man preaches love.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Love for all.
Valentine's Day, man. I'm Aquarius Cupid, baby.
He was born on Valentine's Day. He loves everything and everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What would you consider your worst night drinking? Like, do you have a really bad drinking story?
Well, I have 2 DUIs.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my first one in Mississippi, and then I got my second one out here in California. So we could talk about those 2, because typically those were the worst.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty rough. So you're an Uber guy now. I'm guessing.
That's right, but I'm also closer to the bars now, driving around. So
That's true.
So Ubering is less money and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I can also walk there now, so it also helps.
Yeah, dude,
a
foot
lot.
traffic. It's,
Mhm.
that's all good. I mean, LA is a harder city to do that because it is so spread out. But when you're centrally located like yourself, there is some decent stuff right in like a half a mile every other way.
Which is great. In August I'll be done with probation. So, woo! All right, I'm sorry about that. But no, man, my first one, dude, was over in. I was at a party over in Jackson, Mississippi, and wound up drinking a bunch of whoop juice at a party, and I got behind the wheel, and then I stopped at a stop sign in Jackson, and then I needed to pee, so I got out, and then my buddy that was with me, he said, "Hey, yo, man, if you get out to pee, you're going to jail." And I said, "Dude, I gotta go." So I stepped out, and I relieved myself, and then the first car was a cop. So I had just got done, pulled my pants up, got in the car, and then they had saw me that I was out, so they pulled me over, and that's when I had a breathalyzer in my car. Now that was the worst experience ever, dude. But
Because is that the type where you have to like blow
Mhm.
0 to even start the car?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No alcohol at all. But I had a loophole. All right. So this is
Okay.
the loophole. All right. Don't say you heard this from me. But I was at Applebees, obviously. And so I'm over there drinking my $1 Miller High Lifes. And then so I lived very close. I had a waitress that knew me because I worked there at the time, and she said that she'd blow into my breathalyzer for me because it beeps after 5 minutes. Like after you blow into it for the first time to start it, then 5 minutes later it beeps again. And I was able to get to my house in time, so she was able to blow into it to start it up.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it like to prevent somebody from doing that for you, it will beep 5 minutes into your drive.
Yeah, typically it'll like very.
Oh, I didn't even know that part.
Yeah. So I would just live close. So I was
Yeah.
like,
So, yeah,
you could
just-
imagine how fast I was
Just
going.
got it.
Just wasted trying to get home.
Oh, that's fucking great.
But the second one, man, was in California. I was at Barney's Beanery and in Burbank, and just drinking. I drank 4 beers and just got sporadically tried to get into traffic, and then got pulled over at Costco, and they made me do the thing, and so I'm almost done with
I
that
know
one.
exactly where you were pulled over. I know that Costco.
Yeah, I bet you do, dude. That place. Which yeah, that's
Oh,
the
man.
worst drinking. And
Yeah. That's like okay. A funny story about a time I got pulled over because they thought I was drinking and driving. I had just worked all day. This was probably like 16 years ago.
Okay.
I was like 20, 21, 20. And I stopped at like Jack in the Box to grab some food on the way home, right?
Mhm.
And I got some chicken nuggets or chicken tenders or something. And then obviously I'm not eating those without sauce.
Mm-hmm.
So I got me some hot sauce. And so I have a chicken nugget in this hand and like the buffalo sauce cup in this hand and my wrists on the steering wheel.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And I go like this to dip, but when I do that, the car swerves.
Mm-hmm.
So then I get pulled over.
Yeah.
Cop walks up to the window and I'm still sitting there like this, and he looks in the window with his flashlight, and he just looks at my hands, and then he looks at me and he goes, "You got to be fucking kidding me." And I was like, "No."
You do anything for the sauce.
And I was like, I'm really, he's all, "Are you fucking serious?" I was, he's all, "You're not even drunk, are you?" I was like,
Mhm.
and I still had my Red Robin shirt on. I was like, "No, actually, I just got off work."
Damn.
And he's like, just, he's all, "Where do you live?" I was like 3 minutes down the road. He's
Yeah.
all, "Fucking wait till you get home." I was like, I was really hungry, dude. I'm sorry.
with you. So most of the time I can't wait, you know?
It's hard.
Mhm.
And also it's just like, I don't know if anybody has ever like ordered Uber Eats or something. When that food gets to you, it's half as good as it should be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no
The
matter
heat's
where
gone.
no matter where you're
Mhm.
ordering from, something is soggy, something is cold, this, that, and the other. Like, it sucks. So like, you want to eat your hot food when it's hot.
And fries too, you know, Jack in the Box, I'm sure you got some fries with it.
I'm sure I did.
Yeah, so they're, you know, what's worse than a cold fry, you know?
That's honestly one of the only things that's inedible when it's cold, because I can't think of a single like company that makes fries that are still good when they're cold, because they all taste like
Yeah.
shit.
It's not like pizza.
No,
Yeah.
no, not at all.
Mhm.
I'll eat cold pizza every day.
Mhm.
That is all okay in my book.
Damn right.
Okay, what in the comedy realm, what's the worst show you've ever done? Like it's either like the show was fucked up, or you just bombed terribly, or what? Is there anything that comes to mind where you
Yeah.
just had a really
Yeah.
bad show?
Huge. All right, so I got one. So they were having this speakeasy kind of comedy place. So like once COVID happened, everything closed down, and
Yeah,
then
I
they had
remember.
some.
I remember those.
Yeah, it really sucked, you know. But then those speakeasy kind of comedy joints sprouted up, and I found one, and it was in Burbank, where I would drink at my Barney's Beanery, obviously. But I went there and would do always open mics, and I went there every Friday all the time, and so I went there one evening, and it was tons of people, and I brought friends, and my friends are the craziest bastards you could ask for. So one of them was like, "Yo, man," his name was Mickey, and he handed me a Mickey's, a fifth of Mickey's, and he was like, "Yo, man, drink this." And so I was already drinking, and I kind of just didn't really think, and I just kept, and I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So
Yeah.
like I'm drinking, and then it comes my time to get on stage, and I get on stage, and I say, "Yeah, this guy right here wants me to chug this Mickey." So I was just sloppy, you know, and I just started drinking it. I didn't finish the Mickeys because everyone in the audience was like, "No, don't do it."
This is a bad idea.
Yeah, no, man, but it was open mic, you know.
Yeah.
That place was typically my spot where I wanted to just unwind and just 5 minutes of practice on stage and then networking, talking to everybody.
Yeah, yeah,
It was kind of my drinking spot. It was close to where I was living at the time.
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
that
But
works out too, because like especially with like the open mics, like yes, sure. Sometimes you go there because you have a show coming up and you want to make sure everything is tight,
mm-hmm.
so you take it seriously. But
That's
then
right.
sometimes you're just like, maybe I have a couple ideas and they're not even full premises yet,
At all.
but I'm just gonna get up there and see where it goes.
Yeah,
And sometimes that spawns your best shit.
it really has too.
You know, like you're just kind of in the moment, and you're like, oh, well, this part might work, and then
Mhm.
you just
They
throw
laughed
that
at
out
this.
there.
Mhm.
And one thing I really like about the comedy community nowadays is it is a lot more inclusive and a lot more friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't tell you how many
People don't
times.
judge you for what you go up there and say most of the time.
But yeah, most of the
Mhm.
time. And then also, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten off stage at open mic and somebody's gonna been like, "Hey, man, I really like that one part, but what if you did this?" And like people are giving you like,
Mm-hmm.
like just little
Notes.
helpful notes and
Yeah,
tips and this, that, and the other, and
which is awesome.
and which is great. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you put ego aside and you just be like, well, they think they can do it better than me. It's like, no, they want to improve. They want to help you improve what you're doing. Maybe you won't exactly like their note, but then you get an idea from their note.
Mm-hmm.
It's about keeping an open mind to make what you're doing as good as it can be.
Exactly. which is all we're trying to do, you know. But I would always like have 5 different topics down that I wanted to talk about at that mic, and I would typically just go up there and just freeball it and just go off of those topics and just try to be myself. Because when you go up on stage, more people want to know about you and find out like your life and kind of like why you think the way you think and stuff like that. It's more interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I think that like just being kind of openly you, whether it's just
Because
like
it's cathartic.
yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
whether it's like showing your natural charm and personality or showing a group full of basically, society's rejects that you are one of them and you have like this dark sense of humor and these are the people that you're most comfortable with sharing that dark sense of humor
Dude,
with.
one of us.
Yeah.
You know?
That's great. Like there's a few people in LA where I think that, they go up as a character and for a few of them it works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And I've seen tons of comedians that go and have a certain character that they're playing, yeah. And it's not them as that person that they are. It's more of just a character, which is cool. You
Yeah.
know, I seriously, there's one, I'm sure you've heard of James Demon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, dude, that guy's hilarious.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he is so,
You know
so
who else
good.
is great with like the just little characters and off the wall people that he does is Sam Brillhart.
Yes.
Chicken Man, dude. Like,
I know.
like
I was just
all
thinking
the
about him
chicken
too.
puns, dude. Like that
He
shit.
kills.
I remember the first time I ever saw him do that was here, and I was standing in the back with another comic, Brian Blank, and
I know him.
yeah, we were talking, and then Sam walks up, and Brian goes, "This is Sam. He's a chicken on stage." And I was like, "Fuck off! No, he's not." And Sam like deadpan just looks at me. He's like, "I am."
Mm-hmm. And he's the best chicken, dude.
And I was like, all right. And then sure enough, like 15 minutes later, he's in full suit and he just walks up and then just the chicken puns start just pouring out. And I'm like, this is fucking great.
It's gold.
I love this so much. Like
Yeah.
Chicken Man's the shit.
I had one very silly bit that I did here one time. It was called Heavy Mic.
Mm-hmm.
So I would come up here and I would like grab the mic and I would act like he was so heavy I wouldn't be able to pick it up like Thor's hammer or something. And just like try to tell my jokes as I'm like trying to pick it up too, like maybe lay down on the stage and be like, dude, what's up with this mic? What y'all put in this mic?
That's pretty funny though. Like if you like just guys that just screaming because it can't really get to the mic. Like
I don't like laying on the ground all that much, you know.
No, yeah.
You know, because
I mean, this is a pretty clean stage. It depends on what mic you're at, really, to do that. To do that is braver in certain areas.
I wasn't able to see the light though, you know, because I felt like I may have ran a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that could happen.
Yeah.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Worst job. I would probably say that probably Walmart.
Yeah.
You know, I worked at Walmart for 5 years, and I love that job primarily because I really did I knew what I was doing there, so I was able to really help people efficiently, and that's what I like the most, which is the customer service part.
Yeah.
Helping people. But dude, that job sucked so much. D word, it really did. Cause it was constantly just stocking shit, and then management doesn't know what the hell's going on, and it was just constantly
yeah,
a clusterfuck.
It feels like just like it's such a big thing to be even semi-organized. Feels like a task.
Yeah,
you know.
But they took care of me. You know, I mean, I have a tattoo of a smiley face. You know, so 5 years, man, they brand you. They make
they took him in the back and they're like, one of us.
Exactly. But no, but then I got promoted and all that good stuff, but then I transferred out here with Walmart.
Oh, okay.
So
when you first came out here, Walmart.
Those bastards put me in the damn cooler. I was like, I don't belong in the cooler. What's going on, you know? I have no body fat on me. How am I supposed to do this? Lifting all this milk?
I'm freezing, dude. Help me out.
I'm just lifting milk like in the cooler, just working out, getting my reps in.
It's like it's prison workouts, but it's just Walmart cooler.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, so we're coming up to the end right now, and I always do this thing that's called Are You the Worst? Where I ask you a rapid fire series of questions, and then you just answer yes or no, and we find out if you're the worst or not.
Man, let's see if this works. Let's see if I can do this.
Ready? Okay. Have you ever stolen from your parents?
No. No, yes, I have, yes.
Okay.
I've stole alcohol.
Yeah, that's most of us. have you ever lied to a girlfriend?
No.
Have you ever been a bully?
Um, Subconsciously, probably, not
Yeah.
realizing that I'm being an ass. But typically, no. I've been bullied a lot though too,
Yeah.
in a fun, kind of giving you a hard time way.
It's the last name thing. We're coming back to that again.
That's right.
Have you ever cheated on someone?
No, no. I wish that I was able to have someone to cheat on, honestly. But I don't think I have the conscience for it,
No,
honestly.
I see. See, out of all of these, that's one of the few where like it would eat me alive. My
Hmm.
brain would eat me alive if I did that. I can't. It's not one of those things that works for my brain.
We're the
And I've
same.
done a lot of terrible things. Have you ever worn Crocs?
No, no, I haven't, brother. Never owned a Crocs either.
Good. Have you ever worn jean shorts?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have.
yeah.
Damn,
It's the Stone Cold Steve Austin phase,
with
right?
my Daisy Dukes, I
Yeah.
had to have them.
And the last one, have you ever made fun of a mentally retarded person?
So I have. It was a bus ride. We were on a bus ride. So I was in school bus, and this mentally challenged. He kind of had an issue with his touching his head. He was kind of, strange a little bit. He wasn't riding the short bus. He was riding with
Yeah,
us.
yeah, yeah.
But anyways, he pissed me off one day, and I just had to whoop his ass, I'm so sorry I did that to that guy, man. He
I'm
did not
sorry I
deserve it.
laughed. I shouldn't laugh at you beating up a retarded
I
kid, but
I don't think he was.
I did not expect you to say that you ended up whipping his ass. I thought you were just gonna say like, yeah, I just said, hey, you're stupid, but then he's like, yeah, I whipped his ass. Like
He was being so mean, dude. He was smashing my backpack under his seat and stuff, and I was
that's
like, "What are you doing
uncalled
that
for,
for?"
sir.
So I had to put the hands on him, the Harthcock.
Yeah. All right. So actually, there is one more. I have a minute. There is one more thing I want to do. It's a little thing called What's Worse. I'm going to give you two different premises, and you tell me which one you think would be worse to have as a part of your life.
Okay.
Okay. You have to be Jada Pinkett Smith's mistress, her side piece,
Okay.
for 5 years at her beck and call.
Doesn't sound bad so far.
I mean, if you look at this woman in the light that I have, I think that she abuses Will Smith. So I think that you would be you would be in for a taste of that. And then after the 5 years, all the doors open for you, and you get to do whatever you wanted in comedy or acting.
Okay.
Or you stay the path you're on right now, working shit gigs and terrible spots and self tapes and all that stuff, but it takes you a minimum of 10 more years to get to where you want to be. Which one do you choose?
Man, probably the Jada thing, dude. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
Because you're having sex, actually being able to have sex with a woman,
yeah.
which
And
is rare.
the thing is too is just like you have to ask yourself, how much abuse am I willing to take for what I want?
I wouldn't want her to headbutt me, that's for sure.
No.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
Conehead.
just don't do not make a joke about her bald head, and I think
Okay.
that she will not headbutt you. She might
Perfect.
slap you around a little bit.
Hey, man, if we're heat in the moment, I'm sure.
There's room for a little of that in the moment,
That's
right?
right, dude. So yeah, I'd probably do the Jada thing, man. 5 years of just having, being able to have a lady to fornicate with, as well as being in the know.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
sure. I'm sure you'd get to hang out with Will
Will
too.
Smith too, yeah.
So why not, right?
Yeah, and Willow,
Will
the whole
and
crew.
Jaden, yeah, like you get to find out what's like to be an alien, because apparently he's half alien. That's what
Mhm.
at least he tells everybody.
I'd be glad to be a Smith.
Oh, dude. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up now. Blake, thank you so much for coming, dude. This has been fun.
Yeah, it has.
I appreciate talking to you, and I appreciate learning a lot of stuff about you today. This has been the worst. Blake, if there's anything that you want to plug, any shows coming up, or maybe just your Instagram handle so people can find what's going on, please do so now.
Right on. Yeah. So you could Instagram handle at Harthcock Comedy. You know what it is. I have a YouTube channel called Risky Mayo. So you may get the reason why I came up with that name, but yeah, check me out, follow me. I'm posting stuff. I'm got shows going on, and yeah, just follow me, check it out, and you'll see me. I'll be there.
Wednesday 420 roast battle. I'm up against a funny lady named Gabby, and it should be a bloodbath. And
I think I
the
know.
the lineup that night is really fucking good too. So please come out Wednesday night. Other than that, do the likes and the subscribes and the rates and the reviews. Let's get this show up there.
Yeah.
Thank you again for watching The Worst. We're out.